Hey, welcome while you're in there. Changing the diff oil today. Before you start, first things first, make sure you can get this plug off. This is absolutely critical. Because if you drain it all, you can't get the plug out, you're going to be in a really bad spot where you can't drive it no more. Depending on what axle you have, you might have a drain plug here. If they're stock TJ axles, then you gotta loosen the cover to get the oil out, I think. I don't think there's a drain plug on the TJ stock axles. Oh yeah, it's pretty dark. Alright. So let's set that aside without dropping it. No metal chunks, that's good. Alright. So that's draining. I'll get this cover off. Son of a bitch. Don't want to drop them in the oil pan. Lost the washer. All right, double check, make sure you got all your bolts out. Hopefully this cover comes off easy, but I'm thinking it's not going to. Oh, it is coming off easy. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be in there, but it's definitely needed changing. Alright, I'm going to go set this down real quick. It is kind of green and goopy looking in there. Trying to zoom in here for you a little better. So we're going to clean all that up. I jacked one tire up in the back here, so it'd be easy for me to spin it. So I can spin the diff easily. So that's a tip for you. Just looking at things look nice. I'm gonna so everything looks pretty good in there. Just messy. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be though. I've seen it a lot worse. I used to get a lot of water in my diffs playing in the mud. It's a little sludgy. So you spin that tire and it can get in your spider gears. This is sludgy. Thick. It's not too bad though. Everything's in real nice shape. Just want to get as much of that sludge out as you can. You don't want to leave any of that stuff in there. Especially if it's a wheeling rig that's probably dirt and sand. So get as much of that out as you can. We'll go and clean the cover in a minute here. Let this drain out real good. Maybe some of that sludge will run down while we're cleaning the cover. Let's see. I would clean all this up really, really well. You want it nice and shiny in there. Oh, that's brake cleaner I'm using on this. So I'm trying to wipe up the sludgy stuff as best I can, because I don't think it's going to drip off. And I'm going to turn it so that open where the area of the spider gears is that can drain out. A lot of that brake fluid just leaked out of it. You want none of that left in there either. Okay, so I'm going to move the camera so I can go clean the cover. Alright, so I hope that's okay. So you gotta get all your old gasket material off of here. Mine isn't too bad. Use a razor blade. You gotta get that pretty darn smooth. Get all that old material off. Make sure you get your edges good too. Get that old excess stuff off that squeezes out over the time that's curing from the last change. I got to do this like every 6 months around here. With all the deep water crossings and that. To pick up water in my diffs. It don't matter if it's new seals or not. You get up past the axle tubes, it's coming in. Alright, so it's pretty nasty inside there. Trying to find a good way to hold this. Clean as much as all that old sludge out as you can. You want to have nice new fluid in there. You don't want to get it contaminated with this old gritty stuff. Let's wipe out as much as you can. This stuff is smelly, by the way. This gear oil, it stinks. Get some brake cleaner here. Actually, I got some more material I gotta get off of this first. Take your time with this part, getting the old material off. You really want that smooth. Take your time working a little section at a time. It doesn't seem so bad. Blade's getting all gunked up with the old gasket material. Almost there. Just get off any crumbs and clean it up as best you can. This is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, is just cleaning The rest of it's easy. And all you do from here is just bolt it up, or you can put some RTV on this half, bolt it up, fill it up. So it's a lot better looking than what it was before. Heck of a lot better. Alright, now we gotta go do the same thing on the other half of this, the axle. So, give me a second to move my stuff here. So that came out way better. I probably could clean it up even a little more on them flat edges. But I'm trying to do this sort of quickly. Oh, bear with me. Sorry for that. All right. So a whole lot more of that stuff come running down. It's still running out of there, that thick stuff. Alright, I'm gonna spin this, check it out. Things ain't looking too bad. Just a slimy oil. I don't want to leave any of that old dirty stuff in there. These gears are very expensive to replace. So clean out as much of this gunky stuff as you can. Sorry. This part will take you a while. This is the longest part of the whole thing, is cleaning, getting the gunk out. This ain't hard to do. Anybody could do it. Then I gotta clean this surface, so I don't know if my head's gonna get in the way of this shot or not. Just like on the other half. Clean it all up till it's nice and shiny. Just to tell you a story while I'm doing this. Oh, I was new to Jeeping, so this is like 7 years ago. And we went to the off-road park around here. Had a blast. It was January. I think it was my first time ever wheeling too. It was in this Jeep. But we were going through water crossings all day long. Pretty deep ones. And deep enough that I was coming up halfway past the tire, so I knew it was up to the axle tubes. Well, when your differential is hot and you go, in the cold water, it's a physics thing that happens there. I can't think of the term of it right now, but it's going to suck that cold water in to equalize the temperature on the inside of the diff. Those seals are designed to keep oil in, not to keep the water out very well. So anyway, I didn't know about it. I was new. About 2 weeks later, we have a real cold spell here in January. And I think it got down to about 10 or 20 below. It was really cold. Well, overnight, I went to go get in the Jeep in the morning to go to work, and it would not go in reverse. And I couldn't go forward the way I was parked behind the house. So my only way was to go reverse. It's kind of up an incline. And it would just not go. And then I wouldn't go in first either. Couldn't even move it a centimeter. So I really didn't know what was going on. So I started getting on the gas a little bit, and I heard a big pop, crunch, bang. And what happened was this differential sucked in a lot of water, and it froze solid overnight because it got that cold. So it was a chunk of ice from here down. It had oil on top, but the water was on the bottom. It was really strange. And it broke the teeth on the ring gear. So that was about a $2,000 fix because I got a locker and everything. So that's why you want to keep these clean too. So I was looking for a tool here. Yeah, get these surfaces good. It's got to match up nice with the cover. Like, and it really needs to be flat. So take your time on this part and clean it up really good. Maybe a little wire wheel on the end of a drill. Make short work of this. Make sure you're getting good under that brake line there. Because it almost looks like it's a shadow, but it's actually gasket material still there. You know, that stuff that'll roll up on you, like little balls. Get all them off of there. Coming out of the holes from the bolts. There's some here. If you run your fingers over it, you can feel it where they're at too, the imperfections. Okay, I'm thinking that's pretty good. So, got to go back to the cover. And put the RTV on it. I'm going to turn this wheel so that spider gears drain out good. So it opens at the bottom. It sounds like it's swimming in water. Where does pick up on the camera, that sound? Sounds like water swishing somewhere. Alright, so with that finished drained, I'm going to put the RTV on the cover we took off, so I got to move this camera again. Alright, so get anything off of there that you feel. If there's bump spots you can still feel, go back over there with the razor blade. Actually, I found this. Let me grab the razor blade real quick. See, this is all easy, it's just time consuming. Take your RTV, don't go crazy with this stuff. Get started. Just take a nice bead, like 1/8 of an inch. Maybe I'm saying that, maybe that's even too big. This part will take you a minute. don't you go all the way around? Go around these bolt holes too. Just make it meet up with the other line. Just time consuming. All right, now I'm going to take this back under there. We'll clean the diff up a little more and let this tack for a minute or two. And start putting it back together. Easy peasy. Towels. All right. This goop is still running out. You'd have to let that sit overnight to get every drop of it out. And I'm not gonna wait that long. Just gonna wipe out as much as I possibly can.